Do you remember first time you heard of Calahan?
The first time I heard of the Calahan Young, so back in 2017, it was the first time that I went to a Goalball Nationals, and I actually believe that I played against UCal on the DC team, but I had no idea who he was at the
It
time.
was a long time ago. I don't know.
Yeah. And so you think that I would see this 6'5" guy walking around,
6'7", 6'5".
and I'd know exactly who it was, but no, I didn't find out who he was until I actually started getting into the residency program in like 2020, 2021. So yeah, that's about the first time that I actually like met Cal and introduced myself.
For the first time you heard about Christian?
So the first memory I have of Christian is we were in Vancouver, British Columbia, and Christian's team had lost, and there was this annoying kid that kept Facebook living everything that I kept saying, like, God, this kid's annoying. And
Come to find out he was right.
And here it was Christian and his, I think your grandfather was there before he was, James, before he was our assistant coach. I think he was there helping to coach.
Mhm.
And I said, who's that annoying kid? And he was like, oh, it's my grandson. I was like, oh. But yeah, that was the first time I remember Christian was him at the Vancouver, British Columbia Grand Slam.
You found goalball, or did goalball find you?
I would say that goalball found me. I found out about it at a program that I attended when I was in middle school, where we would learn life skills, like, for example, cooking, cleaning, how to use an ATM for people that are blind, visually impaired. And one of the local sports organizations came down and did a goalball demonstration that if I would have attended that random Wednesday session, I would have never heard of goalball. I probably would have never heard of disability sports. And so, it kind of fell into my lap, and, it's just been a snowball effect from there.
I feel like I should have taken that class because I don't know how to use an ATM still. Just kidding. Goalball found me, the same as Cal. I went to the Virginia School for the Deaf and the Blind, and I had never heard of goalball up until that point. And then, when the season came around for goalball to start, everybody was like hyping me up about it. Zion Walker, who I'm sure you guys have probably seen, and Sean Walker, they were hyping me up about how cool this sport is and how interesting it is. And I'd never heard about it before. So then when the season came around, I was hooked from day one.
And I guess that's interesting because Christian went to a blind school and I went to a public school. And so, like, I didn't have that same interaction with disability sports. And so I went, I was introduced to football, baseball, basketball, track and field, and I played all those sports. I was terrible, but I was never around people with disabilities or disability sports. So it's just interesting kind of counter.
We're less than 6 months out from the start of the Paris Games. Talk about the importance of training camps.
Any opportunity that we, as athletes together, get the opportunity to get on the court, that's always a great opportunity. And I think that we're really trying to make it a big point this year to get on the court together as much as possible in preparation for Paris. And it's just, it's a lot more than I think we've done in the past, I think, Cal. And it's really cool to be able to see all the guys out here and really be able to work with everybody. Honestly, like, in the past, it's always been, 4 or 5 people will come in for a training camp, but here we only have 2 people coming in for a training camp. Everybody else is already here in training. And so that's another really cool thing to think about when, we have these training camps, is that there are already people here.
I totally agree. And that's been one of the problems that we've had in the past was court time and getting rapport with your teammates because, it is a blind sport. So putting the goggles on and trying to figure out where people play, everyone has a little bit different style. And so getting that continuity amongst the team is just so important. And it's just crucial to get on the court and get the gears going. It's our first training camp of the year. But everyone's been grinding. We've had a pretty strong strength and conditioning cycle leading up to this point. So I'm excited to get on the court and actually get a chance to play in the Team USA setting. But like Christian said, that the majority of the guys live here, so we have the opportunity to live in the same setting and train all the time together.
Mm-hmm. For those of you that can't tell, Cal's busting out of his jacket right now. That's how hard the strength and conditioning phase has been.
I am kind of muscular, I'm not going to lie.
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite Paralympic memory, either watching or participating?
Rio.
I have a bunch from Rio de Janeiro as a spectator. I can give you a sense as a spectator and as a participant. I was at the Rio de Janeiro games as a spectator. I went with my university, Slippery Rock University of Pennsylvania, and getting to watch I got to watch a bunch of the USA men's goalball team. I was a part of the national team, but I didn't make the Paralympic team, and so, but it was such a great opportunity to get to watch the guys compete. And I was there when they won their quarterfinal game against Germany, and just to be present and there for their, to be a part of that with them, because they could all hear me screaming from the crowd because I was the loudest person there cheering for them. And so that was an amazing opportunity to be a part of. And then going to my own Paralympic experience, I'd say our quarterfinal win against Ukraine. The whole tournament was kind of a roller coaster because of a tremendous start beating Brazil, and they don't lose games often. And then to have one of our starters get hurt in Tyler Marin. So, we scraped, and we were a scrappy team and did what we had to get to the quarterfinals. And we really had this amazing comeback and overtime win. So that was one of my favorite in-game moments. And then I would say just overall in terms of Paralympic experience, the whole village and just getting to be around all these other athletes, it's just a different feeling. There's so much energy in the village, even for being a COVID, even having COVID being a major factor in the Tokyo Games. It was still just an insane amount of energy around the village and the venue, and just everything was top of the line and just was incredible.
Yeah, and I mean, speaking to the being in the village, I haven't been to a Paralympics, hopefully soon, but Parapans in Santiago, kind of, people like to call that kind of like a miniature Paralympics. They like to try a lot of things to see if it would work for the up and coming Paralympic Games, like Team USA would try things. And so being able to be in that village and actually be around all of these athletes that we are all representing one nation, being obviously the Team USA and then other countries representing themselves clearly, but being able to be around all these athletes that have never heard of goalball before, they're off doing their own journey, they're off competing for their own medals, their own reasons, but all of us coming together for that collective goal is very awesome. So that's what I had to say about kind of what I would say is a kind of Paralympic experience for me in terms of being a spectator. I was going to say the same thing that Cal said about them beating Ukraine in the quarterfinals. That was spectacular because being able, being on the edge of your seat the whole entire time, they get into overtime, and then this man right here, just first throw, just straight in. Oh my gosh, dude. I cannot describe just how hype I got. They call Cal the finisher, and now we all know why.
It's one of my many nicknames, so it's
Calahan, what would you tell someone like Christian about how a Paralympic year differs from a non-Paralympic year?
it's just a lot more. There's a lot of ceremonial stuff that we get to do and experience, and it's going to be different than Santiago was, a little mini Paralympics. And just imagine that times 10. The village is going to be substantially larger. There's going to be substantially more people there. There's going to be a big build up. There's going to be a lot of media attention. You're going to get a lot of people asking you for that, you're going to get a lot of interviews and just have so many more opportunities. And then post Paralympics, it's insane how many opportunities we get from the White House visit and just getting network and being a part of the Paralympic community. It's just, it's kind of incredible. It's just a network of people, and once you get in, it's you're in for life, and you're always going to be a Paralympic athlete. And so it's just a good honor.
I really appreciate that. I'm really excited for it, and I'm going to keep working hard to hopefully make this dream a reality and be able to, attend this Paralympics with you, Cal, because I think that being able to participate in it with you again, Tokyo was, a lot of restrictions with COVID, but this is going to be like the first Paralympics that for you too, where hopefully there's a lot of those restrictions lifted and we're actually able to do a lot more.
Yeah, but you're never going to get to experience the plexiglass separating every single person at the dining room table, or having to wear a mask on the bench while wearing eye patches.
Oh, don't worry.
You're gonna miss out on all those good things. I guess too, there's gonna be more people for you to leave us. Christian loved in Santiago to go talk to the other teams more than us, and so there's gonna be more people there for you to ditch us to go talk to. So
I met about 70% of our delegation at the Parapans, so hoping to top those numbers in Paris, hopefully.
Why should people tune in to watch goalball at the Paris 2020?
It's the coolest sport you've never heard of. It is the only sport there that was developed for people that are blind and visually impaired, the only sport that was created, not adapted. And I think that says a lot. And I think that people should tune in and check it out, because it is so high octane and so back and forth with every moment that there's never a slow moment in goalball. It is so back and forth. You have 10 seconds once the ball hits the other team to get the ball back across half court. It is nonstop, in your face action.
Yeah, and every throw is an opportunity to score. And at the international level, you have less than a second of reaction time a lot of the time to get in front of that ball before it scores. So every throw is an opportunity for the other team to score, or even for us to score. So it really is like, it's always a shot on goal. So it's very intense, and it's high intensity the whole time. And at the international level, it's 12-minute halves, and there's 2 halves, but the game goes on for an hour a majority of the time, or even a little over an hour. So it's a lot of action.